in there. Damn it, Mother. Now what's happened?
Don't move!
Wait, I'm not armed.
Who are you?
Good God, Mother, what have you—
Tell me who you are!
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything, even to...
But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
I hope that your search will prove successful and bring Sarah back to us soon.
I'll be leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know.
Since then, we have become one and the same. We have officially erased the identity of my sister Emma. Emily Hillsborough, the woman with two faces.
Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
Don't move.
Wait, I don't—
So you've come at last.
Easy. Let me turn around. Oh my God, Mother, what has happened to you?
Who are you?
What? But, Mother,
Who are you?
it's me, Louis, your son.
No, you lie. You won't catch me out like that. Louis isn't here. He obeys his mother. He would never have come here.
Mother, I don't know what you've been through, but lower your arm, please.
You think I was born yesterday, do you? But it won't work.
I'm begging you.
One day you will fall.
Mother!
Why are you here?
Remember Al-Azif?
I was sure.
Where's the book, Mother?
So that's what you want? Well, you will never find it. Emily died for that.
What's got into her?
You are evil incarnate. Every word that comes out of your mouth is sharper than a razor blade.
I don't wish you any harm. Really, Mother. It's me, Louis!
Don't speak to me about him. You will never get him.
Mother, stop torturing yourself. It really is me, Louis. How can I convince you?
If you really are who you say you are, what was the saying I taught you?
You've been telling it to me since I was 3 years old, Mother. How could I ever forget it? Always keep your mind rational. And open.
You knew it. You are smart. You're getting me muddled up. Tell me, rather, whose place were we at when I told you I was coming here?
Mother, I really am your son. You can't trick me. We were in Paris. We were investigating an art dealer.
His name?
I just told you, you can't trick me. His name was von Borchert.
My God, everything is lost then. I refuse to believe it's really you, Louis. Otherwise, all this would be for nothing.
Mother, I don't know what happened to you, but don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. I'm here for you and...
No! I ordered you not to come with me.
I received a letter and Lord Mortimer informed me of your disappearance. So I took the...
No! 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 It's not true. It's a nightmare. Don't tell me that. Have you spoken to him?
Oh, shit. She's completely panicked because I spoke to Mortimer. It seems she's afraid of what he might have said to me about her.
Did he speak to you?
Mother, I don't know what you're imagining, but don't worry. Everything will be all right. If you're worried about what I might think about Elizabeth Adams, honestly...
Oh, Louis! Elizabeth is the last of my worries right now. I did what I could for her, but it was too late. Very well. Rational and open, Louis. Since you arrived on the island, has anything strange happened to you?
Depends on what you mean by strange. Like me having visions, for example?
I knew it! It started! Oh,
Hell,
Louis,
she's
I just
panicking.
wish I...
Yes, it's happened to me. Like when I was a boy. I find myself in someone else's body for the space of a dream.
Have you ever dreamed of a different place to the one where you were sleeping, without being able to explain it?
No.
But Mother, don't worry. I'm not losing my mind. Everything is fine. You used to give me a concoction to calm me down when I was little. So, just make some for me once we get back home.
Migraines? Loss of consciousness? Loss of control?
No, rest assured. All is well. I promise you.
What else?
Does a savage murder of the secret daughter of President Washington's good friend count as being strange?
What? So Elizabeth is dead?
Stabbed several times. Don't you think it's time you told me what's happened to you?
No, not now. Now shut up and listen to me. We might still have a chance. Something of utmost importance is going to play out. Right here.
What are you talking about?
A conference, Louis. I should think all Mortimer's guests have arrived by now, haven't they?
Yes, they have, since this morning.
Perfect. The conference will be able to begin.
Indeed. It shouldn't be long and...
Let me finish. We haven't time. You will attend this conference, and you must find out what Mortimer is up to. Don't trust him, Louis. Understood?
But what's it about?
No matter. I'd wager it's about a vast acquisition of some territory in North America. This, however, is not the issue.
But don't you think that...
Louis, I made a mistake by coming here. We are in the lion's den.
What do you mean?
Mortimer, Holm, their guests. Watch what happens. Do you think it's normal that the representatives of the most powerful nations are here all on their own without anyone else? On an island in the middle of nowhere in total secrecy?
No, not really, but...
Louis! They shape the world. They manipulate us. Everything is decided here and now. They create and break states, provoke wars, destitute governments, or decide who will be their leaders. Open your eyes!
Mother, calm yourself, please.
Nothing is impossible for them. They are capable of reaching everyone, wherever they may be. Through high society banquets, they model the future of us all. And it isn't at all an issue for them.
And? What do you propose?
It's time to act, my son. You will go to this conference, and from the inside, you'll do everything you can to prevent Mortimer's plan from going ahead smoothly. We can talk later. I'll explain everything.
But why?
Do as I say, Louis. It's of the utmost importance. Beware of Mortimer. He won't let anything stand in his way.
You promised me that after...
Yes, after. Go now.
Yes, Mother, I'm going. One more thing, Mother. Emily Hillsborough, Emma's sister, came to this island looking for her sister. She probably won't hesitate to take revenge and...
It's the signal that the conference is starting, Louis. Don't be concerned about the Duchess. She's the last of our worries.
Chinese coin. Ah, François Premier, the Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near, his brain is oozing by ear.
Monsieur de Richet, you are expected at the conference. Please take the door to your left to join the guests. Respect to any other
I have suspected it.
That does seem the same.
My son, glad you're here. It seems Lord Mortimer's been waiting for you to arrive before beginning. What a pity your mother isn't here for the conference. I hope I'll be able to see her before I leave. I still have a very important letter to give to her.
Feeling all right, Louis? You look like you're miles away.
Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Lord Mortimer wants to talk to you, Louis. Don't make him wait.
Indeed, I rather believe he did. My son, glad you're here. It seems Lord Mortimer's been waiting for you to arrive before beginning. What a pity your mother isn't here for the conference. I hope I'll be able to see her before I leave. I still have a very important letter to give to her.
Feeling all right, Louis? You look like you're miles away.
Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Lord Mortimer wants to talk to you, Louis. Don't make him wait.
Indeed, I rather believe he did. I had
Hamburger. Ah, Louis, I've been expecting you. Thank you for joining us. We are about to begin our conference. Let me explain what is at stake.
Thank you kindly. But what do you expect of me exactly? My mother's the one who's supposed to attend, not me.
That is indeed what was initially intended. Unfortunately, she still hasn't been found, and my guests can't stay here indefinitely. The conference must begin, and it would be truly beneficial to the Order to join in the project. Consequently, I would like you to replace her during her absence. What is at stake here is of the utmost importance.
It's important that the French Order gets their say. And should you need any advice, don't worry. You are not alone, Louis.
Very well. Can you give me a brief explanation of the aim of it all?
Of course, Louis, I was coming to that. The aim of these meetings is to bring together the most influential people in order to think together about the future.
But the future of who?
Of the world, Louis.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
In concrete terms, how do you organize your discussions?
A conference is always organized the same way. There are two masters of ceremony who determine an important subject.
You and Sir Gregory, I presume.
Exactly. We shall be the masters of ceremony. It was our obligation to each bring to the table several guests in order to debate a subject. Once the debate is closed, a decision will be made by a vote of all the participants.
By a unanimous vote. If the project is not agreed on by all, then it will be rejected.
And neither of the two masters of ceremony have the right to vote.
It's up to the guests alone to decide, Louis. In other words, us.
Gregory and myself are merely the go-betweens. Finally, if the project is validated, each guest goes home and starts working to make it happen.
It can take years.
How long have you been active?
Oh, this tradition has more or less always existed, Louis. It has continued from generation to generation.
Do you often hold this kind of society dinner?
In general, once a year, but in actual fact it tends to be events that dictate our gatherings.
Can you give me an example of an event that was decided here before being implemented in the outside world?
Well, take the French Revolution. It was decided right here 2 years before its implementation in France.
Concerning the case of the French Revolution, I wasn't invited. But as far as the American Revolution is concerned, Louis, I can testify that we planned it 5 years before implementing it, for example.
Louis, let me keep you a moment. I would like to let you in on a secret before we begin, because I'm going to need your assistance. You see, the project I'm going to present concerns the territory of Louisiana in North America. It's currently Spanish territory, and I'm going to make the proposition to the Assembly for it to become French.
But how does that concern me?
Well, you see, I prepared this project with your mother. We began thinking about a crazy idea. Unfortunately, Sarah went missing before getting the bigger picture. I don't intend to stop at Louisiana. My idea is to increase the territory of the United States. The first stone of this vast project consists of getting Spain to cede Louisiana to France. Once it becomes French, France will hand it over to the United States, which will then allow them to double the size of their territory. And that's where you come in. France and the United States, hand in hand, two democracies illuminating the world.
But why spread it over 2 phases? Why not announce the overall project immediately?
Unfortunately, if Spain were to hear that the intention of all this is to allow the United States to grow, they would never sign. Manuel Godoy is perfectly aware of President Washington's appetite. If the United States took Louisiana, Godoy would know full well that he will have lost the entire North American continent. Things must take place in several stages. Otherwise, the change will be too brutal, and he will have no choice but to reject the project. Take a look at them. Apart from President Washington, they all belong to monarchies. Do you really think they won't resist? Of course they'll fight, fearful as they are of losing their precious privileges. But the world needs visionaries, like you, like your mother. It's a pity Sarah isn't here to see it. She only knew about a tiny part of the project. I hope I can count on you, Louis. It's time to start now. I must ask you to keep it to yourself for the time being. Take a seat, follow the discussions. We'll have an opportunity to catch up later, and you'll be able to let me know your thoughts.
Blast it, Mother. You didn't know about everything. His project is commendable. Why tell me to beware? Could you have gotten it wrong?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot.
My friends, I propose we get started. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time to come.
The honor is ours, my lord.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome, Monsieur.
I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about the King of Divine Blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
I'm sorry about the fate of the King of France, Duke Manuel. However, I'm surprised at your remark. How can a man like me have changed the course of things where a man like you, powerful, capable of influencing international politics, was unable to do any better?
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer.
Certainly. I have a dream that our nations will continue to support each other. more now than ever before. A dream that, for the sake of common good, we will do what it takes to ensure stability in the modern world. I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer, but I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the east coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining 2/3 of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France, namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I have not come all this way just to hear you ramble on about what Spain should and should not do. When we went to all the trouble of gaining the territory a few years ago, it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I perfectly understand you. But rest assured, you will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana.
I never spoke of a sale, my good fellow.
What? I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not a question.
Duke, these savages, as you call them, were there before you. They are on their homeland.
As much as the black people of Africa, Monsieur de Richet. That does not stop your dear France from massacring them and sending them like cattle to Mr. Washington's cotton plantations to provide him with cheap labor. So you keep your morals to yourself, if you please.
Senor, I would not like to be associated with that. The subject of black slaves in the United States of America is a complex subject, which we shall resolve at a future date.
Senor Godoy, you must know that France will soon ban these barbaric practices.
Oh, do not get on your high horse, Monsieur Frenchman. The only reason why France has ceased trading in slaves is because of the commercial blockade that Great Britain has imposed against you. The instant the shipping lanes have been restored, France will again treat these people like cattle.
Come now, my friends. Let us not digress. Anyway, these primitive people have no souls, Louis. We bring the good word to them in order to save them. You'll see. Colonization brings with it many benefits, too.
Excuse me, if you don't mind, Your Eminence, I shall continue. Duke Manuel, I believe that Spain should cede Louisiana to France free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protégé. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
I must say, William, I find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my power to calm your expansionist fervor. France, in Louisiana, should persuade you not to attempt anything to take the territory by force. Louisiana is a vast wetland where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you and offer certain nations the perfect opportunity to take back your famous United States. I am protecting you from yourself, George. Trust me.
I understand. But with friends like you, sir, I certainly don't need any more enemies. I hope you know what you're doing.
Am I imagining things, or does it look like Washington isn't aware of Mortimer's plan?
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being
handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
I should think Monsieur de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
In any case, my lord, I doubt the English crown will agree.
Ich will sicher Ihnen, Emily. Ni Preußen wird diese Vereinbarung akzeptieren.
I assure you, Emily, the Prussian will never accept this agreement. Volner looks like he's set on ruining Mortimer's plan.
Duchess, I am persuaded that we shall find a common ground.
That's enough, William. These are grave times. We don't care about the fate of Louisiana. That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Hold on there, Mr. Royal Gigolo. Lower the volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Home, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
How dare
Gentlemen, let us try to remain calm.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us, as per usual. Chaos! That's enough. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will never be ratified. Those who are opposed to this project, follow me. Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet?
Come, Gregory, I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
At the risk of displeasing you, my lord, I'd rather follow Sir Gregory. I don't think this is a place for the order.
Louis? No.
Let him go, Mr. President. Everyone is free to choose.
How can he be so blind? If he keeps this up, he'll lead our countries to their destruction.
Don't worry, we shall counter him, Sir Gregory.
We have to act immediately.
Calm down, Gregory. We only have to vote against his project, and that's it.
They haven't got a chance. Just one vote will suffice.
True. There is no chance of a unanimous vote. And he knows it. He must be preparing something else. What is he plotting? We shall shortly find out, so let's take the lead.
What do you mean by that?
His plan begins with Louisiana, which is still yours, Duke Manuel. He will begin with you. Expect to receive an envoy, French most probably. He will try to convince you by every possible means. Whatever he says, whatever he promises, you have just one response. It's war. If war is what you want, war is what you'll get. And on your own territory, in your homes. Enough games. Spain will join the coalition against France and declare war. You too, Duchess Hillsborough. You will speak to the Queen so that Great Britain commits to going to war with France.
What do you expect from the Papal States, Sir Gregor?
What do you think? That they hold a mass? They will go to war, of course. What is it that you didn't understand in what I just told you? We all declare war on France. Militarily, politically, and financially.
And me, Sir Gregory? How can I help?
Louis, you have won my trust. The Order will have to act in France, but even before that, I'm going to need you. Right here and right now. Leave me now. I have to prepare for tomorrow. Let's meet early tomorrow morning for the next phase of the conference, which promises to be most exciting. Louis, I'd like to see you a moment, please. Thank you for siding with me today. I won't forget it. I'm going to need you. Help me counter Mortimer on his own ground. Right here. I'm sure he'll try and win some of you over. He needs our votes. Now, you leave that to me. In the meantime, I must ask you to go and see President Washington and persuade him to trust me and join us.
Do you really think that I'll be able to convince him?
I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I have total faith in you. He likes you, and thus he won't see you coming. You must be careful, though. If he senses that you are trying to manipulate him, he'll dig in his heels. Louis, use every means at your disposal. If Washington drops Mortimer, his defeat will be complete. You should go right away. There's no time to lose. William already has a head start on us.
Very well. I'll go right away.
Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. Let me in, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but that's impossible.
Come now. There's nothing secret going on in there. Let me in.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I cannot say, sir. I am to follow Lord Mortimer's instructions.
Can you at least tell me who is still in the room? I'm looking for a guest.
Of course, sir. It would seem that only Lord Mortimer and Mr. Napoleon are present. The other guests have gone back to their rooms by another door.
I'm looking for President Washington. Would you know where he is by any chance?
Unfortunately not, sir. All I can say to sir is that the President is no longer in the conference room.
All right. I'll go looking for him myself. Thank you.
Have a good evening, sir.
Monsieur Johann von Wulner. The signs of obscurantism. The signs of obscurantism. The alchemist is a young man.
Great Work of the Soul by S. Madone. Pure alchemy is a thought, an art that is performed on the matter of the soul. Great alchemists work to transform and perfect the latter by a series of processes known as the Great Work. There are 4 phases to attain the ultimate in spiritual fulfillment. The soul broken up must be purified by the alchemist. Nice program. Thus ends the Great Work. The incarnation of the purified spirit, the elevation of the soul, now become perfect. Its resurrection, thanks to the action of the alchemist. Except if the alchemist has bad intentions, then it's called manipulation. The human soul must descend, be corrupt, in order to become decomposed. It's something like what I felt when I think of what I found out about my mother. The soul must be transformed in order to attain sublimation by the recombination of the alchemist. It's tempting. Very metaphorical as occult theories go, the human spirit being the prima materia of the alchemist. The signs of the zodiac. Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost. A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart. Chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart. Chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart. Chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
alchemist is an old man.
Amber crystals. Golden elixir.
A table of alchemical symbols. Someone circled the zinc symbol. A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart. Amber.
June 11th.
Louis? Why? What are you doing in my room?
You're going to laugh, but I got the wrong room.
Are you serious, Louis? I thought you were a better liar than that. If you don't get better soon, you'll get eaten alive. Well, since you're here, can I get you something to drink?
No, thank you, Mr. President.
As you wish. Well, Louis, it's getting late, and this is not my first conference, so let's get straight to the point. You are here to motivate me to change sides.
I have decided not to follow Mortimer.
I noticed. Every man must make his own choice. What can we say? That's the political game. And you did not commit to supporting Mortimer, so there's nothing for you to feel bad about. So what can I do for you?
Mr. President, Lord Mortimer treats you purely and simply like the least of his pawns. He gives you no explanation and then commits you to a project from which you have nothing to gain. But you know that more than I do. Is that what siding with Mortimer is all about?
I must confess that I don't entirely understand William lately. Anyway, you haven't really said what you wanted to say. Tell me, Louis, what have you come here to sell me?
You should join home.
And why would I do that?
You owe it to my mother. She helped you in your early days. She supported you when you needed it. I'm certain she'd be against this plan.
Do you know who introduced me to Sarah all those years ago? Lord Mortimer. Do you know who advised Sarah to start up a chapter of the Golden Order with me in the United States?
Lord Mortimer?
You see my point, then? I have a lot of respect for your mother, Louis, but my allegiance is to Lord Mortimer. Listen, Louis. If I had any doubts about Lord Mortimer's project, I stand reassured now. I hope Sir Gregory has more tricks up his sleeve than you do, because I regret to inform you that, as far as politics is concerned, you've got a lot to learn. But you are still young, so don't worry. On that note, I would like to get some sleep. Please leave me now.
Good night, Mr. President.
Shit. That was a failure. There's nothing more I can do except wait for the conference to resume tomorrow morning. Huh, that's me.
Good evening, Monsieur le Français.
Duchess, you're here. What a charming surprise. I'm beginning to think you can't be without me.
You have managed to penetrate my armor, sir. Am I disturbing you, perhaps?
That's not what I said.
Ah, by the way, congratulations on choosing Sir Gregory this evening. You surprised me. I wasn't expecting it.
Why, Emily? Can't you read me like an open book?
Not as well as you read me, it would seem.
I'll teach you if you'd like.
There's nothing I'd like more.
Tell me, are these visits to Mortimer's always so intense?
Yes and no. My sister doesn't normally disappear like she has. Any news of your mother?
I've seen her, Emily.
What? When was that?
A little earlier, just before the conference. She was hiding.
And did you manage to speak to her?
She's not the same. I don't know what's been happening to her, but she's changed. I found her in a deplorable state with one of her hands cut off. I mean, she was saying crazy things, bordering on delirium.
What? Did you say one of her hands was cut off? What happened to her?
I don't know. She wouldn't say.
And did she tell you why she shot Emma?
No. Unfortunately, we were unable to broach the subject. She seemed terribly upset, Emily. There's something strange going on here. She was fearful of something or someone.
Excuse me, Louis, but until we see proof of the contrary, she's the one who is sowing death everywhere she goes. We are the ones who ought to be fearful.
I know.
No, I apologize for that remark. Who do you think she's hiding from? Mortimer?
I don't know. Maybe.
Louis, I don't want to pile it on, but I would understand her feelings there. You ought to be wary of Mortimer. He's a manipulator, a liar, a coward who doesn't assume his responsibilities at all.
What exactly happened between you two, Emily? You're so radically against him.
Can we change subject, please? I didn't come here to go through all that again.
Of course, it's late. You're right.
Come, Louis.
My friends, do not worry. I assure you that Lord Mortimer's plan will never see the light of day. I shall deal with informing our allies, but for the time being, I need you to make a stand.
What do you think about Monsieur de Richet?
I don't know yet. I feel there's great potential in him.
He looks like he can be trusted.
Why isn't he with us? He was opposed to Mortimer.
I'll wait and see. I'm still not sure of his position.
And Duchess Hillsborough. Why isn't she here?
She's busy. Don't worry about her.
Oh, isn't it time to replace her?
Not so fast, sir. She is an important figure. You ought to have a little more faith in her.
What are we going to do about Washington?
He will be a hard nut to crack. On our chessboard, he is Mortimer's king.
Don't worry. Mr. President only wants one thing: to keep his dear America united. He won't jeopardize everything he has achieved on a whim.
He has been serving Mortimer for quite some time. It won't be easy to bring him around. I have asked Monsieur de Richet to approach him. Let us have faith in him. I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
Yet he is Mortimer's strong arm in France.
He knows his time has come, and I believe he's intelligent enough to realize it means he is no longer any use to Mortimer. Do you feel all right, Mr. Godoy? You haven't said a word.
Please excuse me, gentlemen. I feel tired.
Oh, I see. I think it is high time you left us then. Now!
Emily?
Emily? Are you there?
Sir, the conference is about to begin. You are expected in the conference room.
Tell them I'm coming. Thank you.
Come on, Louis. The game is back on.
My friends, the conference is about to begin. Please excuse me if I troubled you last night with my project. I understand that you might well have a few questions to ask. As you know, the final vote will be cast in a few days. This morning's aim is to answer your questions and check the temperature of your respective positions so that we may reach a greater understanding.
As always, Lord Mortimer.
We parted in perfect disagreement, my lord. Where would you like us to take it from?
Come, sir. Please let William believe he still has a chance of winning us over. Otherwise, his imprecations will lack panache, and we shall be bored stiff.
Oh, let me reassure you, I am convinced that a good night's sleep has brought sound advice, and that this morning will be even more interesting. Therefore, I would like to go around the table in order to hear everyone's first impressions.
Well, I am still firmly against it, even though my choice won't count.
Against.
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 And you, Luc Manuel?
Against, of course.
Well, as for me, I am for Lord Mortimer's project, despite Duchess Hillsborough's overwhelmingly convincing nocturnal attentions.
What? So Emily was playing at trying to win over guests last night?
It was nothing more than a friendly little chat, of course.
How could it be otherwise? And by the way, remember me to your husband when you see him. And you, President Washington, what is your position?
For, of course. And I will add for your benefit, Sir Gregory, that next time you send someone to try to persuade me to change sides, choose someone with a minimum of experience.
Oh, I won't forget, Mr. President.
Well, that leaves just yourself and Monsieur Peru, Louis.
You're all making me sick. Look at yourselves.
What?
You are pathetic!
Have you been drinking or what?
There you are, quibbling away. My Lord Duke this, and Madame Duchess that. You know very well that we're nothing but puppets on a damn string.
Jacques, Camille!
Let's end the charade. It's over.
Jacques.
My lord, thank you for everything you've done for me over the years. But it didn't come for free. And now I see the price is too high to pay. I'll stop.
Come, Jacques, we'll talk it over.
No, I'm finished. I want my freedom back, my lord. I shall no longer work for you. I've had enough of your money, your influence, your power. I want my freedom back. I want my damn life back.
I don't understand. I spoke to him only recently.
Monsieur Peru has lost his mind. It's obvious.
Yet another way for the French to make a spectacle of themselves. Well, once again, it has worked.
My friends, let us settle down, please. We are all in shock, of course.
It's absolutely incomprehensible.
As you say.
No idea what he could have blamed himself for. But the poor man was literally racked with remorse.
What a pity he did not seek the mercy of the Lord. He is forever damned now.
I think everyone needs a little rest. Can you stay a moment?
Of course.
I wanted to see you to apologize for all these events. I am absolutely bowled over by what has just happened. Who would have thought that Monsieur Peru would have taken his own life like that?
To be honest, my lord, I would not have risked my life for his, and his death doesn't really concern me.
I understand. You didn't really know him. I can't help but wonder what could have pushed him into doing it.
We shall never know, my lord. On that note, my lord, I'll be leaving you. Have we covered everything?
Absolutely. Oh, Louis, one more thing, please. What a pity you didn't support me during the conference. I hope I can count on you on the day of the vote. This major project needs men like you, Louis.
And you never know, right? Maybe by then, I'll see things differently.
Well, thank you for allowing me to believe in that possibility, Louis. From here on, I shall make it my mission to persuade you to change your vote.
Be my guest. But I hope your arguments are very, very persuasive, because I'm not the only one who isn't on your side.
Oh, rest assured, I am working on it.
Very well, then. I'll see you later, my lord.
I'll see you later, Louis.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner. A map of Connecticut.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand you.
Map of Vermont. A map of Connecticut. Portrait of George Washington. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Duke Manuel Godoy.
Monsieur de Richet, I have no time. I was about to join Sir Gregory. Come back later.
I wanted to talk to you a moment and...
I am expected. I'm sorry. We shall talk later.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough. No answer. Nothing.
Emily? Emily, are you there? Emily!
Yes. Louis, is that you?
Yes, let me in.
I'm sorry, Louis. I don't feel very well. I'll see you later.
Are you sure everything's all right? Are you still there? Emily? Emily, are you there? Emily!
Yes. Louis, is that you?
Yes, let me in.
I'm sorry, Louis. I don't feel very well. I'll see you later.
Are you sure everything's all right? Are you still there?
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte. Monsieur Jacques Peru.
I am sorry, sir, but you are unable to access Monsieur Peru's room while we gather his personal effects.
I already mentioned it yesterday. Either to you or to someone else. Impossible to tell with you people.
Yes, sir.
Your yes is not sufficient.
Monsieur Bonaparte.
Sorry, de Richet. I have no time for traitors such as yourself.
I beg your pardon?
If you are here, it's because Lord Mortimer agreed to include you. And what's the first thing that you do? You betray him by following Sir Gregory and bending over backwards to turn Washington against him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was free to vote as I pleased. I didn't realize I had to vote for Lord Mortimer in order to show my gratitude toward him. Hey, he invited me here to come and look for my missing mother during his high society party. I'm sorry, truly sorry. I don't know all your customs yet.
It's just common decency that when invited to a man's castle, you don't go and to pee on his boots. Is it too much to ask?
I guess it is.
Monsieur Johann von Wulner.
Congratulations, Monsieur de Richet. You made the right decision at the conference. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you could spare me a moment. I'd like to speak about what happened to Monsieur Peru.
And I, monsieur, would rather not. Frankly, I believe that he more than deserved his fate. Don't expect me to feel sorry for him.
How could you possibly say something like that?
Ever since I found out that traces incriminating him were found next to Elizabeth's body. You can be sure that given the opportunity, I would have put a bullet in his mouth myself.
Excuse me. Wrong room. Your Eminence.
Ah, Louis. What a disturbing turn of events. What just happened is terrible. Who could have guessed that Monsieur Peru was in such a bad way?
No one, Your Eminence. No one.
It's not going to help matters for Mortimer. Now he has one less vote for the conference.
You don't seem too affected by it, though.
Louis, I do not appreciate your remark, which I will put down to the indiscretions of youth. I am here in the interests of the Holy See. But I am above all a Christian, and it hurts me to see lost souls take a wrong turn.
Of course. Of course. But even with such a setback, I'd still be wary of Mortimer. I sense he has still a few surprises in store for us.
Oh, I fully agree with you. I learned about your failure with Washington.
I did my best. The president is a shrewd diplomat.
It was perhaps too early to send you to the front line of the battle. Don't blame yourself. Anyway, I am tired. If you don't mind, I shall retire to my bed.
By all means, Your Eminence. President George Washington. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me. Next time, I'll listen to my mother. Not a day has gone by without something happening to me. What now?
Louis, open up, please.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming.
Louis. Ah, there you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Oh, shit. Emily might want to avenge her sister. I must act quickly.
You're right, Mr. President. Thank you. President George Washington. Monsieur Johann van Wulner. Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte. Duchess Emily Hillsborough. I do believe that's Emily's voice. I can't understand what she's saying. I have to get inside Emily's room through the... Shit! It's locked. I have to get inside Emily's room through the... Shit! It's locked. It's as if there are several people inside.
Once again, you're the one who's the victim in all this.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger addressed to Emily.
Told you what happened to me.
He's the present
That's how
Prime
it
Minister
works,
of the
and you know
United
it full
Kingdom.
well. I'm not
Emily
that
has
naive.
indeed some powerful
I know
backers.
you inside out. Stop.
Two
We'll end
coils
up
circle
losing
the lock.
everything if you keep on.
Queen Charlotte. All the royal family of England is there, from what I can tell.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam, I shall never thank you enough for all your care and attention. I shall be indebted to you until my last breath. If you have any request of me, you only need ask. With regards to my son William, I shall never thank you enough for looking after him. You know the latter's preferences, and you will understand he needs you desperately. For that, and as agreed with Queen Charlotte, our friend Duke Hillsborough will carry out his task and meet with you within 6 months. From then on, you'll be free from want.
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam, a letter from William Pitt the Younger addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover from this present fit. Next time you speak with Her Majesty the Queen, would you please be so kind as to ask her to look into my petition to raise tax?
William Pitt the Elder, Earl of Chatham. Emily works with his son. William Pitt the Elder, Earl of Chatham. Emily works with his son.
What on earth is... You... Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk. After everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope, right? I gave you my life. That's enough, Emma. Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What? If you think you're going to...
Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games. What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart. After everything we've been through together.
Yes, well...
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You pretty little bitch! How dare you? Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away. Go on then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on then, shoot! After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot! Sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way. I am not Emma. Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Well, Louis, come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure there's no doubt.
Rational and open, Louis. Let's see. How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival, you handed me something. I wasn't feeling very well, and you handed me something. What was it?
My handkerchief, and you stained it with your blood. You still have it, as a matter of fact. But she already knows all this, Louis. It's a waste of time.
Right. Let's find something else. Ah, yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the manor.
When we arrived at the manor, someone was already present in the Great Hall. Who was it?
George Washington, President of the United States, Louis. Of course you are able to reply. I'm the one who told you.
Very well.
Let's try something else.
On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll. Do you remember if we saw each other that night or not?
No, not after going up to bed. That doesn't prove a thing. I was the one who told you that. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm.
I better act quickly if I don't want things to get out of hand.
Come on, she's putting one over on you. Look at yourself for crying out loud. You were prepared to shoot me down.
In the secret room behind the study. Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet.
On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
Remember? How did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
Sword toward the Gorgon, Gorgon toward the shield, shield toward the sword. Lantern toward the shield. Of course, I told her how to do it. That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail. Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis. speak about our intimacy.
Very well, let's talk about us. When you came to my room last night, what did we talk about?
I beg your pardon, but I didn't go into your room last night.
There you are. The mask is off.
What do you mean? Sorry, Emma. I didn't tell you everything.
She's right.
You little bitch. She is manipulating you, Louis.
That's enough, both of you. Now I know who the real Emily is. You are Emily Hillsborough.
I knew you wouldn't get it wrong, Louis. No! You little bitch! Watch out, Louis! No!
Hell, what have I done?
See what you've done. See.
Louis? What on earth is going...
Mother!
Go. You must leave. Everyone's going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess, is everything all right?
Go! Go, Mother! No one must find you here.
Go.
Come, Louis. There's nothing more you can do.
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Mother, go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Emily.
Madam, I'm coming in.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her, please. Go, I'll cover you.
Good God! They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything through the door?
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering. Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. Go back to your rooms. I shall find out from Lord Mortimer what this is all about. Thank you.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
My instructions are clear, sir. No one is to enter.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of water. A drachma.
Louis! At last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only... Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and rational. I know you are going to find this hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true. Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore. Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right, so let me guess. I'd put my money on the boogeyman and Father Christmas.
Do you really believe that I'm joking here? Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Holm had sent Volner to get it for him.
Holm and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
Mother, I shan't follow you down that path. I wouldn't be doing you any favors.
Rational and open, Louis. Tell me then, how can anyone own properties all over the world for centuries, always having signed documents with the same signature?
Well, I can find 10 other explanations less eccentric than demonic possession, Mother.
How come the Mortimers have had only one male heir for each generation since the Third Crusade?
Forgery, family rights where they get rid of the daughter. There are dozens of less extravagant possibilities.
How could one man motivate so many future leading figures of the day on his silly island without anyone finding out about it? Even the Golden Order isn't capable of that.
Well, he's simply better than us, and he's welcome to it.
You refuse to open your eyes, Louis.
You've lost your objectivity, Mother.
I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian, in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him. Or rather, he found me. He was young, charismatic. He was flamboyant.
You mean Mortimer?
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages.
He was already old in those days, wasn't he? So you recognized him when you arrived on the island, right?
No, he wasn't in that body. But I know it was him. I swear it was him. The way he spoke, his posture, a few of his intonations, his mannerisms.
Wait a minute. You were talking about 60 years ago. I've lost the thread.
Yes, sorry. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you refused, of course.
Why, naturally, Louis. You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later, in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his father.
Need I remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing. I want to know what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
Mother, I won't take a step further if you don't answer me.
You dare blackmail me?
I'm listening.
All right, I used her. So there you are. Happy now? We had the Al-Azif, and I didn't think we would be able to escape with it. In order to ensure that the book did not fall into their hands, or that one of them couldn't read in us where we had hidden it, I asked Emily to...
It's Emma.
Yes, or rather for me, it was Emily. So I asked Emma to hide it without anyone seeing, and then I disposed of her. I am sorry for her, but she was part of the Golden Order, Louis. She knew the rules when she joined.
I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
Do you know who killed her?
Absolutely not.
What did you negotiate about the Al-Azif with Volner?
Absolutely nothing. I managed to pull the wool over his eyes until I found a way to flee.
What was going on with the cannons in Tuscany?
It was nothing.
Since when does the Order finance wars?
The cannons for that Bonaparte fellow? Listen, once in the lion's den, I did whatever I could to appear legitimate. So yes, I pretended to be interested in Mortimer's project about a young military man who was seeking funding for a foundry in Tuscany. Between you and me, if buying China would have enabled me to escape, I would have signed without hesitation.
You know, I found your package under a wharf plank.
As a matter of fact, I needed it yesterday. I wasn't expecting anyone to take it.
Samuel Ritter du Choix, you wanted to send me a letter about Godoy.
I wanted you to run a check on Duke Manuel. But frankly, it doesn't really matter anymore now. Godoy is just a pawn like the others. He is not the one I was looking for.
On the evening of my arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you. He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries. We can sort that out later.
Are you going to tell me what happened to your hand?
Better than that. I shall show you.
Good. I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He demands that the Spanish hand over Louisiana to France.
Oh, knowing him, it won't stop there. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Are you going to tell me why we're here?
There. That's why we are here.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one.
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 5 objects before we try anything.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving. Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his nightmare.
In a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course. An exegesis. Anything else?
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal Bible, strictly speaking. It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, Louis. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
This is the book in which you left your correspondence with Duchess Hillsborough, isn't it?
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see. There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
What do you mean by the concordance of dates exactly?
Don't worry about that. We already have them. They are written on the back of the message I just gave you. One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm. Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them, though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal? You'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us. And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6466.
Tell me, Mother, you wouldn't know anything that might save me some time, would you?
That's where you'll have to put the Clement III cross. You insert the cross into the slot, and it will open the iris.
Let's see if I can work it out myself. It looks like a kind of control panel.
You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
What on earth is that? A disc with information engraved in the metal? An iris that should open, I imagine, and blood.
There are Roman numerals, Arab numbers, and town names.
Go on. I'm listening. What do you think?
Tell me, I imagine that once we've solved this enigma, the iris opens, right?
Exactly.
On each engraved piece of information, there's a hole. Those are for the nails, right?
That's absolutely right.
Did you succeed in opening this iris?
Yes, by putting the cross on the console and the 3 nails on the disc, the iris opens. It gives access to a hole where I put my hand, thinking I could fully open the iris. There's a handle at the bottom, and as you can see, it didn't turn out very well for me.
Mother? The dried blood. There.
Yes, it's mine. Sorry if I stained everything, but I must admit that at the time my thoughts were more on the pain than cleaning up after myself.
Chinese coin.
Famous cross of Clement III. Perfect. And one key found.
Byzant from the Byzantine Empire, a coin often used during the St. Louis era.